Oh, second. Good afternoon, everyone. It's our immense pleasure to have Dr. K.K. Mishra, Principal Scientist, Plant Pathology, Crop Protection Division, ICR VP KS Almora, Uttarakhand, with us. Uh, and the topic chosen for deliberation is seasonal growth of button mushrooms. Sir, you are audible as well as visible, and your presentation is also visible. Sir, you can start. Dr. K.K. Mishra, please start, sir.
Hello. Yeah, sure. No, it's okay. 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 Shall I start now?
Yes, sir. Please start.
Hello. Hello.
Please start, sir. Your headphone is not working, maybe. Please start.
Hello.
Yeah, please start, sir.
Hello.
Kindly start.
Hello.
You're audible. Please start.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
But I am unable to hear your voice, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. Should I start now?
Yes. Please start.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Actually, the organizer has allotted me a topic on seasonal growing of button mushroom. And I think it is the very tough topic because it is mainly concerned to the farmers or the growers who are growing the mushrooms around the years based on the available environmental conditions. This is the photograph which is showing the preparation of the compost by the growers by long method of composting. This is the mushroom hut, that is the low cost cultivation crop room for the growing the mushrooms, and this is the crop of the mushrooms. If we see about the mushroom biodiversity, so there are more than near about 14,000 mushroom species so far, which has been identified by different scientists throughout the world. And out of 14,000, approximately 50% are edible in nature. And out of 7,000, it is 3,000 which are prime edible mushrooms. And out of 3,200 mushrooms are grown experimentally, and 100 are cultivated economically. And out of this 100, only 60 are the mushrooms which are growing at a commercial scale. And out of 60, only 10 are on industrial scale. And if we see about the medicinal mushrooms, I think more than 2,000 mushrooms are there, which are having the different medicinal compounds and known as the medicinal mushrooms. And 140 mushrooms are having poisonous nature, and out of 140, 30 mushrooms are lethal in nature. If we see the contribution of different mushroom species and their share in the total world mushroom production, then we can see that now, according to the Rice and co-workers in 2017, it is the Lentinula, that is the shiitake mushroom, which is having the highest share in the world mushroom production. And the second is of oyster mushroom, that is Plotus. And third position is occupied by auricularia, that is black ear mushroom. And basically this mushroom is being grown in the China and Japan. And in 2014, the Agaricus bisporus, that is common button mushroom, was at number 1, and it shared about 31% of the total world production. But in 2017, you can see it goes down at 4th rank and shared about 15% of the total world production. And 5th one is the star mushroom, that is a Flammulina velutis, and which is being grown in American country, America. If you see the contribution of different mushrooms in different countries, which are the major growing countries of the world, that button mushroom is the important mushroom in the US, and it shared about 98% of the total US mushroom production. However, in the case of Spain, button mushroom shared about 80% of the total Spain production, mushroom production. And quite contrary to this situation, in China and Japan, this is not the button mushroom which shares the lion's share, which having the lion's share, but it is in shiitake mushroom in the case of China, which is having the lion's share, that is 22% of the total Chinese mushroom production. And in Japan, it is shiitake, 11% of the shiitake mushroom is grown. If we see the state-wise mushroom production in India, this is the data of 2011. Now it has been changed. Earlier it was near about 1,13,000 metric ton per annum, but now it crossed about more than 2 lakh metric ton now. And the Punjab is the major state which is growing the mushrooms. And this too, mainly the small and the marginal farmers played the important role in mushroom production. If I talk about the Uttarakhand, there are 4 different zones based on the climatic conditions, and on this basis we can characterize the different mushroom season. If we see in zone A1, which is near about 100 to 600 meter altitude, which is having the 5-6 different districts of the Uttarakhand, so we can grow the 2 crops of the button mushroom starting from the October to March, 2 crops and 4 crops of the oyster mushroom, that 2 crops of the oyster mushroom, that is August to October and February to April, and 2 crops of the milky mushroom from April to September. And in addition, we can also grow 2 medicinal mushroom, that is one is shiitake mushroom and second is the black ear mushroom. In the same way, in the zone A2, which is having the altitude of 600 to 1000 meters, and that covers the lower hills of the Uttarakhand, and we can go for the 2 crops of the button mushroom and 2 crops of the oyster mushroom, 1 crop of the milky mushroom. And similarly, in different zones, like in zone B, zone C, and zone D, we can go for the cultivation of different mushroom crops. Now coming to the share of different mushrooms grown in the Uttarakhand. Basically, in Uttarakhand, the button mushroom played having the major share, and it contributes about the 85% of the total mushroom production in Uttarakhand. Currently, the total production of Uttarakhand is near about 14,000 metric ton per annum. And out of 14,000, 85% is of button mushroom. And the second important mushroom in Uttarakhand is the oyster mushroom, that is Plotus species, and third important is the Calocybe indica, that is milky mushroom. But in Uttarakhand, Volvarella volvaceae is not existing, and none of the grower is taking the crop of the Volvarella volvaceae, that is Padestra mushroom. If we see the different types of cultivated mushrooms and their temperature requirement for their growth. So we can see that for button mushroom, that is scientifically known as the Agaricus bisporus, the temperature requirement is 14 to 22 degrees centigrade. In case of the grey oyster mushroom, that is Protus sajor kaju, it is 20 to 28 degrees centigrade, and however the optimum temperature is 25 plus minus 2 degrees centigrade. In case of the white oyster mushroom, that is Protus florida, it requires slightly lower temperature, that is 20 to 25 degrees centigrade, then and optimum temperature is 22 degrees centigrade. In case of the milky mushroom, that is Calocybe indica, the temperature requirement is 28 to 32 degrees centigrade, and optimum temperature is near about 30 degrees centigrade. While in the case of the Padista mushroom, that is Volvirella volvaceae or different species of the Volvirella, the temperature range is 28 to 35 degrees centigrade, and optimum is the 32 degrees centigrade. So in this way, based on the temperature available in the season, we can select a mushroom species and go for the cultivation of different species around the year. As I think our earlier speakers have already told you about the importance of the mushrooms, mainly in having the nutritional as well as medicinal significance, and there is the use of agricultural waste, and finally there is no presence of the crop competition. So I think it has already been covered by the different speakers, my earlier speakers. Yeah. Now coming to the different level of mushroom production. So there are three levels of mushroom production. The first one is the marginal scale mushroom production. Second is the small scale mushroom production. And third is the industrial scale mushroom production. Now coming to the marginal scale mushroom production. So basically this is the scale, marginal as well as the small scale being adopted by the farmers for the seasonal growing of the mushroom. And in this marginal scale, basically the crop rooms are known as huts. And generally each farmer is having 1 to 3 or sometimes 5 to 10 huts for the mushroom production during the season. And they can accommodate 3 to 6 tons of the compost in each hut. And this hut is made up of straw or sarkanda or grasses or bamboo or locally available substances which can be utilized for the manufacturing of these huts. The normal size of the hut is 30 into 17 to 12 feet, where we can accommodate near about the 5 tons of the compost, or 35 into 18 into the 12 feet. 30 feet is the length, 17 feet is the width, and 12 feet is the height of the hut. And basically there are 3 to 6 racks in the huts, and these racks are made up of bamboo, wood, or sarkanda. And the farmers which are growing mushrooms using the huts, they are either preparing their own compost, adopting the long method of composting. We will discuss it in coming lecture. Or they can they will purchase the compost from some composting units. And if we talk about the production from such compost, then we can say that in per quintal of the compost using the long method of composting, we can get about 16 to 18 kg of mushroom in 45 days of crop. Whereas in the case of short method of composting, the yield goes up to 22 kg per quintal of the compost, and within 6 to 7 weeks of the crop. Yeah. Now this is the mushroom hut. This is the external view of the mushroom hut. You can see here, this is the width, near about 17 feet of the width. Length is the 30 feet, and here its height is 14 feet, and in the corner it is 8 feet. And here you can see there are 3 racks in the huts. So we can accommodate the bags in the racks, or we can go for the shelf. So you can see the crop of the button mushroom in the huts. So in this way, the farmers can prepare their own huts and go for the cultivation of button mushroom. Now, second level of cultivation is the small scale level, where the crop rooms, basically, they are either converted, farmers convert the old buildings, or they newly constructed There ordinary or controlled crop rooms. And the crop room size is 40 into 18 into 12 or 50 into 23 into 12 feet. And generally the farmers can use 2 to 6 crop rooms of 15 to 20 tons of the compost capacity each. And the racks are of 4 tires which are made up of angle iron or bamboo, and in each bag they can use 10 to 12 kg of the compost. And either they can prepare their own compost by adopting the long method of composting, or they can procure the compost by some composting unit. And in this case the production is same, near about 18 kg using the long method of composting and 20 to 22 kg by the short method of composting. The third level is the industrial scale, where the crop room is insulated and air conditioned, and the crop room size is 83 into 17 into 12 feet, and we can accommodate near about 20 or 30 metric ton of the compost in each crop room. And there are 4 to 6 racks which are made up of angle iron, and where we can accommodate 10 to 12 kg of the compost in each bag. And in here, who are growing the mushroom using the industrial scale, they are having their own pasteurization unit, and they can prepare their own compost using the short method of composting. And the production is near about 18 kg per quintal of the compost. But here the time duration is very short. You can see only within the 3 weeks of the crop cycle, they can harvest near about the 16 to 18 kg of the button mushroom per quintal of the compost. Yeah, now coming to the my topic, that is the production of the button mushroom under seasonal condition. And the scientific name, as I have already told, that scientific name of button mushroom is the Agaricus bisporus, and the temperature requirement for the button mushroom production is 14 to 22 degrees centigrade. Here we use the substrate which is known as the compost, and this compost is made using the 2 methods, either by long method of composting or by short method of composting. And I will discuss about the long method of composting, how to make the compost using the long method of composting. And the yield is near about 16 to 18 kg per quintal of the you are adopting the long method of composting, whereas 18 to 22 kg per quintal of the composting compost adopting the short method of composting. Now coming to the, there are different steps involved in the cultivation technology of Agaricus bisporus, that is white button mushroom. And these steps are, first step is the compost and composting, second step is the spawning, third step is the casing, and last step is the crop and the crop management. Basically in compost and composting, compost is the basically is a very selective medium for the production of the Agaricus bisporus. And the method of preparation of the compost is known as composting. There are 2 methods of the compost. One is the long method of composting. As the name indicates, here the time requirement is more, near about 28 to 30 days are required by long method of composting. And the second method is the short method of composting. As the name indicates, here the time requirement is less, and only 16 to 17 days are required for the compost preparation using this method. And in short method of composting, basically there are 2 phases. The first is the outdoor composting, where we prepare the compost outside the tunnel. And second phase is the indoor composting, where we fill the compost into the pasteurization tunnel, and it will go for 6 to 7 days. And outdoor composting, it takes about 10 to 11 days. So therefore, the total whole process took about 16 to 17 days. Yeah. Now, the question is, what is the compost? So basically, the term compost can be applied to the medium, which are known as substrate. And in this medium, it is a very selective medium where the mushrooms are grown in. It is the artificially prepared growth medium, which is desired for the growth and development of the fungus, where none of the other fungus can grow. One of the most popular commercial blends of the mushroom substrate is basically in the compost we mix the different substrate like wheat extra, gypsum, wheat bran, urea, and as well as the chicken manure. Basically this compost provides the nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and ions required for the growth of the fungal mycelium, and it supports the growth of only the mycelium of the button mushroom and prevents that of other competitive modes. Basically, there are some many competitive modes which occur during the process of button mushroom production. This is the formulation which is used for preparation of compost using the long method of composting. Earlier, generally the farmers prepare the compost where the wheat extra as a basal medium, and on the basis of the weight of the wheat extra, the other ingredients are added. For example, if we take about the 300 kg of the wheat extra, there is the requirement of 15 kg of the wheat bran, or 9 kg of the ammonium sulfate or calcium ammonium nitrate. I think now it is not much available in the market. That's why it can be substituted with the ammonium sulfate, and 3 kg of the supermass phosphate, single superphosphate, 3 kg of the muriate of potash, and 3 kg of the urea, as well as the 30 kg of the gypsum. Basically, the gypsum functions as maintaining the pH of the compost. Nowadays, what farmers do because the unavailability of the calcium ammonium nitrate, and there is the cost of different ingredients, they generally use chicken manure at the rate of 60% of the weight of the wheat extra in place of ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, muriate of potash. So now its formulation based on the weight of the wheat extra is on the basis of its wheat extra weight, 6% of the wheat bran is required, 60 to 70% of the chicken manure is required, 1.5% of the urea is required, and 5% of the gypsum is required. So basically, these are the most common formulation for the preparation of the compost using the long method of composting. Now, how can we go for the composting process? The first step is on the floor. First, we take the wheat extra and wet the wheat extra so that the moisture content of the wheat extra goes about 75 to 80%. And another side, we wet the different ingredients, and after that we mix it and mix the wheat extra as well as the ingredients, and the moisture content should be kept near about 72 to 75%. And after proper mixing, we have to make a pile. The length, the width and height of the pile should be 1.5 into 1.25 meter, so that there will be automatic generation of the heat for the degradation of the wheat extra and other materials. After the piling, we give the first turning on the 6th day, and turning should be in the manner so that the upper part of the pile should go below, and the below part of the pile will go on the upper part of that another pile, new pile. So on 6th day, we give the first turning. On 10th day, we give the second turning. And during the third turning on the 13th day, we add the gypsum. Earlier, we are not adding the gypsum, but nowadays in the new formulation, we generally add the gypsum simultaneously along with the wheat extra. So third turning is given on 13th day, and then fourth turning on 16th day, fifth turning on 19th day, sixth turning on 22nd day, and seventh turning on 25th day. After seventh turning, our compost should be ready. We have to break open the pile, and if there is not existence of the ammonia in the pile, then we go for the spawning, that is the mixing of the spawn into the compost. But if if there is the presence of ammonia in the pile, definitely we will go for another turning, that is 8th turning, and that is on 28th day. Yeah, after the composting process is over, we have to treat the compost with 1.5 liter of the formaldehyde and 50 gram of the carbendazim in 40 liter of water and per ton of the compost. Depending on the our prepared substrate weight, we can go for the treatment treatment with formaldehyde as well as the carbendazim. And after the treatment, we have to again make the heap or pile, and it will be covered with the polythene sheet for 48 hours. And after 48 hours, we have to remove the sheet, and compost should be shaped. And when it comes at the normal room temperature, then we go for the spawning. So this is the process of preparing compost using the long method of composting. Yeah, you can see here. Here we have added the different ingredients required for the long method of composting. Here we are mixing the ingredients, and here we are making the pile. And finally, this is the turning of the compost you can see here. And this is the final compost, I think, which will be prepared. Now coming to the what should be the characteristic features of the quality compost. So definitely after 28 days, we will get the compost, and it should be dark brown in color, and it should not be sticky, and the compost should be free of ammonia, or we can see the ammonia content should not be more than 8 to 10 ppm. The moisture content of the compost should be in the range of 68 to 72%, not more than that 72%. And the pH of the compost should be in the range of 7.2 to 7.5, that is near about neutral or slightly alkaline pH. And it should be free from the insect pest and nematodes. And definitely there is the presence of fire fangs. Basically, the fire fangs are the group of actinomycetes, thermophilic, mesophilic fungi. You can see it. This whitish color is because of the presence of fire fangs. So the presence of fire fangs generally reveals that your compost is good in quality. Now after compost preparation, the second step of the button mushroom growing is the spawning of the compost, and the process of mixing of spawn. Spawn is basically technical word, that is the seed material of the button mushroom. So it is the mixing of the spawn in the compost. This is known as the spawning. And basically the good quality compost, after it should have the temperature range of near about 25 degrees centigrade. And at this temperature, at normal room temperature, we go for the spawning. And spawning should be done at the rate of 0.5 to 0.7% of the wet compost. That is, if for each quintal of the compost, there is a requirement of near about 500 to 700 or 750 gram of the spawn. And care should be taken that we have to clean hands, and we have to have pre-sterilized area for the spawning. Otherwise, there will be chances of the contamination. In order to avoid that contamination, we have to pre-sterilize area with 2% formalin solution. And after spawning, we have to fill the spawn compost into the polythene bags, and there are near about 10 to 12 kg, that is 12 to 15 feet height is there of the bag. Or in the beds, we can keep it for the 6 to 8 feet height, 8-inch height of the beds should be kept. And after filling in the bags, we have to little compress the bags, and there is the leveling of the spawn compost. And after that, we have to close the mouth of the polythene bags filled with the spawn compost, and either the plastic sheet should be kept on the upper surface of the polythene bags, or where the temperature is slightly higher, we can put also the newspaper, which may be sterilized with the 2% formalin solution. And after these process, we have to shift the compost filled bags in our crop room, and at that time the temperature of the crop room should be in between 23 plus minus 1 degree centigrade, that is 22 to 24 degrees centigrade. For the spawn run, the relative humidity of the crop room should be near about 95%, and there should be high carbon dioxide concentration, because the higher carbon dioxide concentration favors the spawn run. And the bag should be kept in these conditions for 12 to 14 days, and it takes about 12 to 14 days for the complete spawn run. And once the spawn run has been completed, you can observe that the dark brown compost colors is changed into the light brown color, and there is the smell of the mushroom from the bags. Yeah, there are some precautions which we have to take care during the spawning, that we have to use the fresh pure culture of the spawn. I think spawn after 1 month period of the spawn, we have to not use the more than 1 month old spawn. And spawning should be done under clean conditions. Our hands should be kept clean. Our area should be kept clean. And for that, we have to treat the spawning area and tools with the 2% formalin solution, as well as we should clean our hands with the Dettol or some sanitizer. And we have to maintain the good hygienic conditions during the spawning by keeping all the doors or window closed, so that the inoculum of the other fungi should not enter into that area. Once spawning has been completed and we have shifted our bags into the crop room, definitely the next step is the casing. That is the application of casing material to the spawn run bag is known as casing. And the significance of the casing is to maintain the moisture content and exchange of the gases within the surface of the compost, and it helps in the proper growth of the mycelium. Until or unless you don't apply the casing material on the spawn run bacteria, you will not get the fruiting body of the mushroom, because it provides some factors which are responsible for the fructification or responsible for the change of the vegetative phase into the reproductive phase of the mushroom. And the pH of the casing soil should be in between 7.5 to 7.8, and it should be free from any infection or disease. And for that, we have to slice the casing material. Different casing materials are being used in the Indian conditions, but which are the general in use are either we can use the 2 years old farmyard manure along with the garden soil in the ratio of 3:1, or we can go for the 2 years old FYM plus garden soil in the ratio of 2:1, or we can go for the application of 2 years old FYM along with spent compost, spent mushroom compost, that is 1:1 ratio, or in 2:1 ratio, or in 1:2 ratio. But it was found that if you apply the FYM along with the spent mushroom compost in the ratio of 2:1, it is giving the good result. And in some states like Punjab and Haryana, they are also using the burned husk of the rice husk for the casing purpose. But in that case, they are getting the less yield in comparison to the other casing material. Now coming to the how to treat the casing soil, or how to make it sterilized. And generally we use the farmers in the seasonal growing condition, they use the formalin for the casing treatment. And for that, we have to make a heap of the casing material on a cemented platform, and we have to wet it up to 50 to 60% moisture level, so that there should be moisture content of 50 to 60% in the soil. And thereafter, we have to make the solution of 40% formaldehyde, that is formalin solution. And for 1 meter cube of the casing soil, we have to use the 1 liter of the formalin, or we can use the 4% of the formaldehyde solution for the treatment of the casing soil. After that, we have to cover it with the polythene sheet and seal with the outer periphery. Thereafter, by pouring sand or soil on outside margin, and it should be kept for 24 to 48 hours in the sun for the fumigation effect. And before the casing application, we have to remove the polythene cover after 48 hours and expose the material to open air and sunlight by spreading over with clean tools and permitting the formalin fumes to escape into the air for 2 to 3 days before it is used as the casing. It is required because if we put the casing material which is having the formalin fumes, definitely it will prevent the fungal mycelial growth in the crop. Another method of casing installation is the pasteurization method. Generally, it is being followed by the industrial scale, and where we make the heap of the casing material, and again we have to wet it up to 50 to 60% of moisture water holding capacity, and these are filled in the trays, and then these trays are shifted to the pasteurization chamber, and where we pasteurize it using the steam at the temperature of 60 to 65 degrees centigrade, and that is kept for 6 to 8 hours at that temperature. And after that, we have to cool it, and then we can use it for the casing purpose. But under seasonal mushroom growing, we can go for the formalin treated casing material. Now, what should be the quality of the casing material? Basically, the casing material should be soft textured. It should be light in weight, having the high water holding capacity. High porosity should be there, so that there should be the exchange of the air, and it should be deficient in available form of carbon and nitrogen, and it should have the neutral pH or slightly alkaline pH. The pH should be in the range of 7 to 7.5, and it is having the low conductivity, that is 400 to 600. Now coming to the how to apply the casing soil onto the spondron bags. Generally, we go for the casing soil. 3 to 4 centimeter thick layer should be applied on the spondron bags, and it should be applied uniformly on the compost when the surface has been covered by the white mycelium of the fungus. And after application of the casing soil, it should be treated with the 0.5% of the formalin solution. And at that time, the temperature and humidity of the crop room should be maintained between 14 to 18 degrees centigrade and 80 to 85% relative humidity. And proper ventilation should be arranged with water being sprayed once or twice a day, depending on the temperature condition of the crop room. Now, precautions during the application of the casing. First precaution is the casing material should not be sieved but used as such with clumps, which permits more air spaces in the casing. Care should be taken to prevent reinfection of the casing materials. The casing material should be stored in a sterilized or clean room before use in polythene bags or synthetic cloth bags, and apply water to casing in a few installments so that water does not run into the spondron compost. It is very important. You have to apply the water in installment. The next, after casing, there is the case run, that is the fungal mycelium runs in the casing soil. And after once the case run is completed, near about 7 to 8 days are required for the case run. Once it is completed, there is the formation of a small primordia, that is pinhead formation of the mushroom. Generally, the case run is done at the temperature of 23 to 25 degrees centigrade and relative humidity of 95%. And CO2 concentration should be there, that is more than 7,500 ppm. And it is also dependent on the this strain which are using for the butter mushroom production. And it takes about near about 1 week, 7 to 8 days. During the case run, there is no requirement of the fresh air introduction because it requires low O2 and high CO2 during the case run. Once there is the complete mycelial run, after that the environmental conditions are changed by bringing down the temperature to 15 to 17 degrees centigrade. So for that, we have to open the window or door in order to go down keep down the temperature at 50 to 70 degrees centigrade from 24 degrees centigrade. And the relative humidity should be kept at near about 85% in the crop room. And there should be CO2 concentration should be near about 800 to 1000 ppm. And that too dependent on the type of strains of the Agaricus bisporus. Yeah. So this change in environmental parameters basically induces the pinhead formation, and it takes about 3 to 4 days for the pinhead formation once the case run is completed, and it takes about another 3 to 4 days for the pinheads to develop into the solid button mushroom. Now coming to the harvesting of the crop, generally after casing, near about 10 to 12 days took about for the pinhead initiation, and once there is you start the harvesting of the mushroom crop, generally for 50 to 60 days you can harvest the crop, and for in between for the 50 to 60 days, generally you will get there about 17 to 20% of the total mushroom of your compost weight. And the main thing is that you have to harvest the crop before the gills open, as if the gills open, they will decrease the quality as well as the market value of the mushroom. Or we can say, if the pileus size or cap size is near about 3 to 4 centimeter, or so you can harvest the mushroom. And if we talk about the productivity of the button mushroom using the long method of composting, generally from the 1 quintal of the compost, you can harvest near about 16 to 18 kg of the mushrooms from the near about 50 days of the crop cycle. Yeah, this is the photographic presentation. This is the composting process. This is the spawning. You can see first we put the compost material into the trays, and then we spawned it at the rate of 750 gram per quintal of the compost. And once there is the spawn run in the bags, you can see, then we go for the application of the casing soil on the outer surface of the casing, and the depth of the casing soil should be kept here about 3 to 4 centimeter thick. And once casing is there, after 12 to 14 days, you will get the small pinheads. Pinhead initiation, generally it starts from the outer side of the bag. Later on, it covers the full bag. And you will get near about 3 flushes of the crop during the entire crop cycle. And after pinheadization, 4 to 5 days are required for the harvesting of the crop. And after harvesting, you can take the crop, remove the casing particles, wash it, and generally pack it into the small packets as per requirement of your market, and send it to the market. Yeah, so this is basically the cultivation of the button mushroom production on seasonal growing of button mushroom. And if we talk about the economics of the button mushroom production, so basically in the winter we can go for the cultivation of button mushroom. We can take the 2 crops of the button mushroom starting from the October up to the February. And if we talk about the economic analysis, if we prepare our own hut, so I think there is the approximate cost for the preparation for the manufacture of the hut is near about 50,000 if you assume. And there are some instruments which are required during the process of the mushroom production, that is spray pump, thermometer, hygrometer, buckets, balances. It costs about near about 3,200. So therefore, non-recurring cost will come about 53,200 rupees. And for the 2 cycle in this size crop room hut, that is 30 into 17 into 12, 9 or 10 feet height, 4 tiers. So we can accommodate near about the 50 quintals of the compost. And in this way, for the 2 cycle, there is a requirement of 10 tons or 100 quintals of the compost, along with so if we calculate the cost of recurring cost, for the 2 cycle. So it cost about 81,000. And if you talk about the laborers for half day, I think for half day you can engage a labor. It cost about 21,000. If plant protection inputs near about 2,000, polythene bags, electricity and water and miscellaneous. In this way, the recurring cost for the 2 cycle will come near about 1,16,000. Yeah, if we take about average yield of the 17% of the total compost, so we can harvest near about 1,700 kg of the button mushroom from 2 crop cycle. And if the market rate is near about 120 rupees per kg, definitely you will get rupees more than 2 lakh rupees from by selling the mushrooms in the market. And suppose your non-recurring items will go for 3 years, and we will take the depreciation cost of the 33.33% on the non-recurring item. So it will come around the 17,732 rupees. And generally now rate of interest is less, but if you consider that 10% of the rate of interest on the recurring as well as the non-recurring cost, it will come about the 16,995. So therefore, the net profit from the 2 crops cycle of the button mushroom should be near about more than 52,000 approximately. So in this way, you can calculate the economics using the economics for the button mushroom cultivation under the singular growing condition. Yeah, this is the some glimpse of the crop which I have in district Almora. You can see the farmers are growing like this. They can prepare their own racks by using the different bamboo or some logs. You can see here. This is another farmers in the district Almora, which is preparing the mushroom pickle also. And you can see here the crop of the farmers. Yeah. The farmer preparing the mushroom pickle, and they are selling the mushroom pickle at very high cost, here about 400 to 500 rupees per kg. So this is our adopted farmer. Yeah, but in spite of so much success in the mushroom production, there are definitely some constants which are playing major role for the mushroom production. And the major constant is the lack of good quality spawn. Generally, there are deficiency of the labs which are preparing the quality spawn. And in this direction, government have to think of for creating new spawn labs which can produce or prepare the quality spawn in each district level. And definitely, if there is more production of the mushrooms in the market, there is definitely uncontrolled price structure of the mushroom. Sometimes when there is demand of the mushroom in the market, so you can sell it up to the 250 rupees per kg. But if there are very huge amount of mushrooms in the market, so there you have to sell it at 70, 80 rupees per kg also. So I think this is the major reason, that is the uncontrolled price structure of the mushroom. And third important constant is the lack of common facility for the pre-cooling and storage of the fresh mushroom, because the mushrooms are having more than 90% of the water content in the food body, and the shelf life is not more than 72 hours under fridge condition. So therefore, that is required that you have to keep the mushrooms in cool. There should be a proper storage condition for keeping the mushrooms. And definitely there is the high transportation charges from your village to the market or mandi nearby mandi, that may be reduced. And in some states, there is the commercial rate of electricity tariff for the mushroom production. I think in some states it should be kept in the agriculture produce, and it is free of electricity. So it should be, I think government have to take care of this. And there is also the lack of marketing facilities. And in some states, government has taken lead in this direction, and they have made some markets for the sale of the mushrooms. And there is definitely a very complex process of obtaining loan or finance for the farmers, and the branch manager and bank manager generally they uh, don't want to give the loans. I think they have to take some advantage of from the farmers. And yes, that is the major. I think for the controlled condition crop room, there is the farm designed for the mushroom production. But for the low cost production, that is, there is no strict low cost mushroom farm design, and we have to think over it. And our design should be there, that should be adopted by different mushroom growers. And yeah, there is a lack of training facilities also. I think in each block level, there should be a training facility. There should be a person who can train the farmers on the mushroom. And definitely there is a lack of interest of academia also for the mushroom production. Yeah, there are some other factors. I think it will be covered by some other speaker, but I am giving this some glimpse of this factor which are adversely affecting the mushroom production. Basically, these factors are can be divided into two parts, that is biotic stressage and abiotic stressage. In the biotic stressage, there are some bacteria, fungi, and viruses which adversely affect the mushroom production. And in abiotic stressage, it is basically rise in temperature or moisture or relative humidity, carbon dioxide concentration in the crop room, and some pollutants are there. Because of that, some roach come like structure is there in the button mushroom. Basically, some fungus are there, and these fungus can be again characterized into the two parts, that is competitor modes and parasitic fungus. So, parasitic fungus, they are basically main causal for the reduction in the yield of the button mushroom. And if we talk about the Mycogone perniciosa, which is causing the wet bubble disease, which is the severe disease of the mushroom, button mushroom, and I think there is no control measures yet so far for the control of this particular disease. And there are some Verticillium fungicola, that is Licanicillium fungicola, which is kind of dry bubble of the button mushroom, and Cladobotrium dendroides, which is causing the cobweb disease of the button mushroom. And in the competitor modes, there are the green mode, yellow mode, brown mode, some inky cap. So these are some modes which are responsible for which are adversely affecting the growth of the mushroom and finally the yield of the mushroom. So this is in nut about the all. I'm thankful to the coordinator of this training program, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, Dr. M.P. Thakur sir, for providing me this opportunity to deliver a lecture on seasonal growing of button mushroom. I'm also thankful to the National Agriculture Development Cooperative Limited, Baramulla, for giving me this opportunity to deliver the lecture. Thank you all.
Participants, is there any question? Any questions? Okay. Thank you, everyone.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Question is there. Please give some times. Okay, I can talk.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, yes, please.